Hey, Scott Russell. It's a very spiritual time right now, isn't it? And I think we are all getting an invitation to a higher level, to something new and something in our own lives that's very intimately personal and spiritually intimately personal. And, I've spent today last 24 hours talking to two or three different people that of the same thing, maybe more actually, the same thing where people are being confronted with, and here's what I explained to them. They're being confronted with, see in the spirit, Holy Spirit realm, as we grow and it's like romance, as it gets revealed to us, you can't go back. You have a choice, and the choice is if I go back, you're force feeding yourself into something that was and is not is. And isn't for now. And in God, we do that. People have had spiritual invitations, and many of us, have had different wooings of God. You may not see it as that, but you've had these little experiences. I remember talking to people who'd be like, well, I prayed and I got this answer, and I wasn't sure who was giving me the answer. But you get these divine encounters. It's impossible to go back. It's impossible to switch that off and say, no, it doesn't exist. And as we try to do that, what we find is we get frustrated, we lose our energy, we lose our strength, we can get sick, and because the invitation that's there for us is to freedom. And the Holy Spirit is drawing you to freedom. He doesn't, religion shoves something on you and says, you'll do this. God doesn't do that. He's a romantic God. He comes and he just woos us. It's like, hey, it's like a woman, you send a woman a bunch of flowers and she doesn't know who you are, or you send her a bunch of chocolates or something, and you do something and that's actually romantically driven, and often they'd be like, who's that idiot? But after a while, maybe the woman will stop and respond and look and go, oh, him? I never would have expected him to do that, and why is he doing that? And that's when the friends will maybe come to the girl and say, he likes you, right? Oh, really? Oh, gee, and that's God with us. He's very patient, he's very loving, he's very caring. He knows what we need. He sees what we need. He sees your pain. He sees your failures. He sees your shortcomings, the things that that one thing that you're so ashamed of, you'd almost die if anybody found out. God knows about it and he loves you anyway. And he comes wooing us, just giving us the little things in life that maybe we don't deserve, or we kind of wonder, oh, gee, that was lucky. No, there's no lucky. It's just we don't give credit where credit's due. So once God is wooing you, it's impossible to go back and to turn that off. It's impossible to go back and say, no, I'm going back to normal life. I don't want any of this. I'm just stopping. And I was just talking to someone tonight about this, where I'm saying, you're being wooed basically by God. And you can't go back, because once you've had a little bit of growth, it's like growing to a 5-year-old grows to a 6-year-old. And maybe they liked what they were when they were 5, but you can't go back to being a 5-year-old. You're a 6-year-old now. And you're heading towards a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10, and adulthood, teenager, adulthood. You can't fight it. Some people, I don't want to grow up, forever young. I don't want to grow up. You're going to grow up, whether you like it or not. And I think it's the same spiritually with some of the things in our life. And maybe you're struggling with sickness. Maybe you're struggling with oppression, depression, relationship, your work, finances, whatever it is, and you're trying to go back to what was and hoping that you can get the answers for what was, from what was your answer at one point in your life, but it's no longer the answer. And I think God is just inviting you, the Creator is inviting you today to just come and say, you know what, I don't know you, I've never met you, I don't know how to approach you, but I feel like there's something there. And it's almost like saying to him, if you're there, then just reveal yourself to me a little more. I'm open to it. I'm opening to it. Because I think maybe there's something there. And as we open up to what's the future, then we find things fall into line. But if you struggle and you push yourself trying to get back to where you were, trying to go back to something that was, it'll kill you. It'll take the life out of you, the essence out of you, instead of bringing you freedom and joy and life and prosperity and, just what you were created to be. And so that was been my words to some of these gentlemen and that I've been talking to, and just saying, look, let the old go. Let the old go. You're trying to hold on to something and make it something that it's not. And, this one man I spoke to and said, it's your old way of thinking. God's handed you a Ferrari, so to speak, in your way of life, and you're trying to drive some old bomb. He's handed you a Ferrari and you're trying to, you're wearing homeless clothes in it because you don't feel worthy of it. You don't feel like it's good enough for you. I want to tell you something. You know when it's a blessing of God because you never feel good enough for it. You never feel good enough for it. And you think, well, it's too good to be true. I've had some of those things happen to me lately, and I won't get into what. It's just different thoughts on different things in life. And you're looking to go, is that for real? Could that even be possible? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? And you have to move forward, not go back. You just abandon it to God. And I think that's where many of us are right now, because this is a very spiritual time, and the spiritual leads the natural. And for some of us, it's a case of switching from the natural leading you. You might have been very natural orientated to now it's switching slowly and becoming the other way, where the spirit is leading the natural. You're starting to see spiritual things. And I think it's very important that you understand it's not earned. Romance is not earned, it's given. It just is. It's something that's just alive in someone. And God's alive in the romance for you. And as he just comes alive, he just puts the little things out. And it's just important to respond. Respond to what God's doing. And more will happen. Respond, and it'll start to overtake your life with goodness. So wherever you are, don't go back. Don't go back to what you've been. Don't go back to what you know is dead. You can't breathe life into a dead corpse. And if something's dead in your life, you have to just let it go. And when you let it go, new life can happen. But as you take that old corpse and you're like, well, I don't want this thing to be dead. I'm not ready for it to be dead. If it's dead, it's dead. Doesn't matter how much you want to breathe into it. It won't work. The only life it will take is your life. And then you'll be dead. And that thing still won't live. It'll just collapse once it's burned out your life. So I'm encouraging you today, as I've encouraged many today in the last 24 hours, to say, let go of the old things in your life. Take the journey of where God is, your Creator is taking you. You say, well, I don't know him. Trust. Have faith. The faith is saying, I can sense the romance. I feel the romance. Something's romancing me here, and I'm going to respond in some small way. I'm going to respond. When you do that with God, you know what happens is he opens up more and more and more. And before you know it, you're looking and going, far out. I had no clue. It could be so good. Welcome home. Welcome home. Quick final word. Come on home. Let go. Let go. Surrender to the Creator. Like I say, take a walk on the beach, wherever you need to connect. Just walk, talk, wherever you do your connecting with life, and just talk to him. Try it. Got nothing to lose, right? Like I'm talking to you. Just talk. I don't hear you, but you hear me. Some of you, your heart resonates with what I'm saying, and God's the same. He's talking to us. Sometimes we can't hear it, but in our heart it resonates. True love resonates in your heart. You can't make it go away. I've tried. I've got a situation I've tried to make go away. It can't go away. It just won't. It just sits there, and it just sits there, and it's actually beautiful. So I just don't fight it anymore. Same with you. Let God be God in your life. God bless you.